For me, it's like, you're not good enough. That's where I think most of the like nervousness comes from, is that that people say no.
Whatever happened to that mesmerizing beauty therapist who turned into a sultry jazz goddess in front of millions of viewers? Alice Fredenham's transformation on Britain's Got Talent 2013 was absolutely mind-blowing. Audiences called her the next Adele, but within months, she was gone. And what she's been up to since might surprise you even more. Stay with us, because this isn't the fairy tale ending you might expect. The stunning BGT transformation. A trembling, tearful woman in a dowdy jumper walks onto the BGT stage, clutching tissues and looking like she might bolt for the exit at any second. But when Alice Fredenham opened her mouth to sing "My Funny Valentine," something absolutely magical happened. The transformation was so dramatic, so completely unexpected, that even the notoriously hard-to-please Simon Cowell was left stunned. Simon Cowell told her, "Your voice is like liquid gold." And he wasn't exaggerating. This was television gold in its purest form. The contrast between Alice's nervous exterior and her incredible vocal prowess created one of those rare BGT moments that people still talk about years later. But here's what made it even more incredible. She was 28 and worked as a beauty therapist at the time of her audition. She had a regular job, a regular life, and then, bam! Overnight sensation. The judges were absolutely floored. Amanda remarked that she had just performed the most mesmerizing, sultry, and sexy performance that she had heard on the show at the time, with David adding that when she sang, she was like a goddess. Talk about a complete 180-degree transformation. What's fascinating is how Alice's entire demeanor changed the moment she started singing. Gone was the nervous, tissue-clutching woman, replaced by this confident, sultry performer who commanded the stage with her presence. It was like watching Clark Kent turn into Superman, but instead of a superhero costume, Alice had her voice as her superpower. The audience reaction was electric. You could literally feel the energy in the room shift from sympathy to absolute awe. People were on their feet, jaws dropped, completely captivated by this unexpected vocal powerhouse. The video of her audition went viral almost instantly, racking up millions of views and making Alice an overnight internet sensation. The Voice UK controversy. Alice's story took a surprising turn when fans discovered that before her breakout on Britain's Got Talent, she had actually auditioned for The Voice UK. Unlike her BGT debut, which showed her as a shy and trembling singer, her voice audition revealed a completely different side of her. She appeared glamorous, confident, and even caught Judge Danny O'Donoghue's attention with her striking looks. But despite her stage presence and polished appearance, all 4 coaches rejected her performance, leaving her without a single chair turn. For many fans, this contrast between her confident voice persona and her nervous breakdown on BGT was shocking and raised plenty of questions. This sparked heated debates online, with talent show viewers speculating about the authenticity of Alice's transformation. Some argued that her nervousness on BGT might have been a carefully crafted act to create maximum drama and emotional connection with the audience. Others pointed to the emotional weight of rejection. Facing complete dismissal on The Voice could easily shatter anyone's confidence, making her BGT nerves very real. Simon Cowell himself stepped in to defend her, insisting that Alice's stage fright was a genuine struggle with confidence. His comments suggested that what viewers saw was not manipulation, but the emotional journey of someone still recovering from a previous blow to her self-esteem. Beyond her personal struggle, fans also considered the role of the shows themselves. The Voice UK is judged solely on vocal ability, with contestants unseen until the chairs turn, while BGT thrives on the full package: personality, performance, story, and emotional resonance with the audience. Alice may have discovered that her talents were better suited to BGT's format, where vulnerability and storytelling were as impactful as pure vocal strength. Whether her contrasting performances were the result of deliberate strategy or simply the evolution of her confidence, the debate surrounding Alice made her one of the most fascinating and talked-about contestants of her season. Semi-finals success and the crushing elimination. Alice's Britain's Got Talent journey didn't end with her jaw-dropping audition. She carried that momentum straight into the semi-finals with another breathtaking performance. This time, she chose the timeless jazz classic Cry Me a River, a song that fit her smoky, sultry tone perfectly. With more confidence than in her first appearance, Alice commanded the stage, showcasing her growth as a performer and proving she wasn't just a one-hit wonder. Yet, despite the beauty of her semi-final performance, Alice's journey was cut short when she was eliminated. The decision shocked many viewers who had connected deeply with her voice and story. Fans argued she had matured as an artist, overcoming her initial nerves and delivering something truly special. Still, as is often the case with BGT, talent alone wasn't enough. Factors like timing, luck, and that elusive X factor played their role. Her exit sparked passionate debates among fans, with some insisting she deserved a place in the finals, while others felt she lacked the mass appeal to win outright. Looking back, Alice's semi-final elimination remains one of those classic what-if moments in talent show history. What if she had reached the finals? Could her career path have shifted dramatically? These unanswered questions are part of what keeps her story so fascinating. The Sony record deal. Alice Fredenham's career took a remarkable leap forward when she signed a recording deal with Sony on December 2, 2013. For someone who had been working as a beauty therapist just months earlier, this was nothing short of extraordinary. Sony, as one of the biggest names in the global music industry, was a powerful platform that had launched and supported the careers of world-renowned artists like Adele and Beyoncé. For Alice, this deal represented an endorsement of her talent and a transformative opportunity to step into the professional music world with major backing. It was the kind of breakthrough most aspiring singers only dream about. The timing of the contract could not have been better. Following her appearances on Britain's Got Talent, Alice had already captured the hearts of millions, with her audition clips generating viral attention online. This exposure provided the perfect momentum for a record label like Sony to step in. They were signing an artist with a ready-made story, a voice that resonated deeply with audiences, and a growing fan base eager for more. Despite her elimination from the competition, Alice demonstrated that success in the music industry is not always tied to winning talent shows. Her journey reinforced the idea that determination and authenticity can open doors, even when the spotlight fades from the stage. For Alice, the Sony deal meant access to professional resources she could never have imagined before. She now had top-tier producers, marketing strategists, and distribution channels at her disposal, all designed to shape her talent into a marketable and enduring career. This was validation from the industry at the highest level, an affirmation that her artistry had both creative and commercial promise. While fans and judges had been moved by her performances, Sony's investment carried a different weight, a bet that her voice could generate not only emotional impact, but real market success. Her debut album, Under Sony, further cemented her artistic direction. Featuring a refined mix of jazz standards and contemporary numbers, the record highlighted Alice's sultry vocal tones while reinforcing her stylistic leanings toward jazz and classic pop. The production was polished yet restrained, ensuring her voice remained the centerpiece. Critics were generally positive, praising her ability to maintain the raw vulnerability that first captivated audiences on BGT. Unlike many talent show alumni who struggled to carve out a post-TV identity, Alice had found a clear musical lane that fit her strengths perfectly. While her album didn't storm the charts, It achieved respectable sales and, more importantly, established her as a legitimate recording artist with credibility beyond reality television. She successfully retained the authenticity and emotional depth that had won her fans in the first place, proving that her impact was no fleeting moment of viral fame. The experience of working within a professional recording environment, surrounded by accomplished producers and musicians, helped refine her artistry and expand her musical toolkit. In many ways, Alice's Sony debut laid the foundation for her evolution from a nervous talent show contestant into a serious artist with both a story and a sound that could endure. Personal life and relationship with Joe Lindsay. Behind the scenes, Alice's personal life was also evolving in interesting ways. Alice Fredenham has been in a relationship with Joe Lindsay, a singer and producer known for his work with the music producer duo Sigma. This relationship has been significant personally and also professionally for Alice's continued musical development. Joe Lindsay brings serious music industry credentials to the relationship. Sigma is a well-known electronic music duo that has achieved commercial success and critical acclaim. Having a partner who understands the music business from an insider's perspective has likely been invaluable for Alice as she navigates her own career. The relationship suggests that Alice has remained connected to the music world even during quieter periods of her public career. Dating someone in the industry often means staying plugged into current trends, networking opportunities, and potential collaborations that might not be available otherwise. What's sweet about their relationship is that it shows Alice found someone who truly understands the unique pressures and challenges of being a professional musician. The music industry can be incredibly demanding and unpredictable, so having a supportive partner who gets it makes a huge difference. Their relationship also hints at Alice's continued commitment to music. If she were planning to step away from the industry completely, it might be less likely that she'd be romantically involved with someone so deeply embedded in the music world. The fact that Joe works in electronic music while Alice specializes in jazz and classic pop shows how diverse their musical interests are. This could potentially lead to interesting creative collaborations, or at least expose Alice to different musical approaches and technologies. The mystery years. Here's where Alice's story becomes really intriguing and, frankly, a bit mysterious. After her initial success with the Sony deal and album release, Alice seemed to gradually fade from the public spotlight. Alice retired from the public eye after releasing only a single album. But why would someone with such obvious talent and industry backing choose to step away? This is where we can only speculate, but there are several possible explanations for Alice's reduced public presence. The music industry is notoriously difficult, and many talented artists struggle with the pressures of fame and constant public scrutiny. For someone who was initially so nervous on stage, the demands of a full-time music career might have been overwhelming. Another possibility is that Alice simply chose to prioritize her personal life over career ambitions. Not every artist wants to be a massive global superstar. Some are content with smaller-scale success that allows them to maintain privacy and personal relationships. The industry itself might have played a role too. Record label politics, changing musical trends, and marketing challenges could have made it difficult for Alice to maintain momentum after her initial success. It's also worth considering that Alice might have been more selective about her public appearances and projects. Rather than taking every opportunity that came her way, she might have chosen to focus on work that truly excited her artistically. Some fans have wondered if Alice experienced burnout after the whirlwind experience of BGT, record deals, and sudden fame. The transition from beauty therapist to recording artist in such a short time frame would be emotionally and professionally challenging for anyone. The mystery years have only made Alice more intriguing to her fans, who continue to speculate about what she's been up to and whether she'll make a full comeback to the public eye. Current projects. But here's the exciting news that many people don't know. Alice hasn't completely disappeared from the music scene. Listen to Air on Spotify. Song. Alice Fredenham, 2024 shows that she's still actively creating and releasing music, even if she's doing it more quietly than before. The fact that Alice released new music in 2024 proves that she's still passionate about her artistry and hasn't given up on her musical career. This recent activity suggests that rather than retiring completely, Alice might have simply chosen a different approach to her career, one that prioritizes artistic fulfillment over massive commercial success. Alice Fredenham, 109,145 likes. 18. Talking about this? Press and bookings. Alice Fredenham @gmail.com shows that she maintains an active social media presence with a substantial following. Over 109,000 Facebook followers is nothing to sneeze at, and the fact that people are still talking about her shows that her fan base remains loyal and engaged. The inclusion of booking information in her social media profiles suggests that Alice is still available for live performances and professional engagements. This indicates that while she might not be pursuing mainstream commercial success aggressively, she's still working as a professional musician. 20,000 followers. 1. Following 11 posts. As Alice F. @Alice Fredenham on Instagram shows, she maintains a more limited but still present Instagram presence. The small number of posts suggests she's selective about what she shares publicly, which fits with a more private approach to her career. If you would like to see more from Alice Fredenham, you can subscribe to her YouTube channel or follow her on Facebook. Indicates that fans can still connect with Alice through various social media platforms, suggesting she hasn't completely withdrawn from public engagement. Her legacy's impact and influence on other artists. Alice Fredenham's Britain's Got Talent audition has endured as one of the most memorable talent show moments because it captures the essence of the underdog story. Her transition from a visibly nervous beauty therapist to a confident, captivating singer resonated with millions who saw in her journey a reflection of their own hidden potential. The sheer authenticity of her performance, untainted by gimmicks or pretense, made audiences feel her vulnerability and triumph in real time, which is why people continue to revisit and share her audition years later. Her story also struck a chord because it embodied hope for ordinary individuals with extraordinary dreams. Alice was relatable, someone who represented the possibility that raw talent can emerge from unexpected places. Combined with her flawless vocal delivery, this authenticity created a rare blend of genuine artistry and compelling television. It wasn't just a good story, it was a perfect storm of emotion and ability. The impact of her audition extended far beyond personal recognition. Alice's journey showed that winning a talent show isn't the only path to success. She proved that a single unforgettable performance could create a legacy, inspire others, and even influence how talent shows are produced and judged. Record labels and producers began to take note of contestants like her, realizing that true commercial potential often lies in authenticity rather than in staged drama. This shifted how audiences and industry insiders alike approached these platforms. Finally, Alice's post-show decisions added another layer of meaning to her legacy. Rather than chasing constant fame, she chose a more private and selective career path, demonstrating that success doesn't have to mean mass exposure. Her story continues to be studied by other performers as an example of balancing artistry with personal well-being. In the end, Alice Fredenham's audition remains a cultural touchstone, proof that authenticity, vulnerability, and talent can combine to create television history that inspires long after the spotlight fades. Ongoing speculation. The story of Alice Fredenham has fueled endless speculation and fan theories, which have helped keep her name alive even during her quieter years. Some believe her nervous image on Britain's Got Talent was deliberately cultivated to maximize dramatic impact, citing her more confident appearance on The Voice UK as proof that she could perform with far greater polish when she wanted to. Others think her reduced public visibility is a carefully chosen strategy, one designed to maintain mystique, avoid oversaturation, and keep fans intrigued rather than burned out. There are also theories that Alice is quietly working on a major comeback project, with recent music releases seen as signs that she's preparing for something bigger. Speculation has even touched on her personal life, with fans suggesting her relationship with Joe Lenzi could inspire unexpected musical collaborations. His background in electronic music paired with her classic jazzy style could result in a truly unique fusion that redefines her artistic path. At the same time, some argue Alice has chosen to prioritize live performances over recorded music, keeping her career active but away from the mainstream spotlight. Beyond speculation, Alice's story carries valuable lessons for aspiring performers. Her journey illustrates that authenticity resonates more powerfully than polished perfection, and that rejection, like her early elimination from The Voice, can be a stepping stone rather than a dead end. She also proves that success isn't one size fits all. While some chase mainstream fame, others, like Alice, can find fulfillment in a more selective, personal approach. By staying true to her natural style instead of chasing trends, she reinforced the importance of artistic integrity in building a sustainable career. Even today, Alice remains a figure of intrigue. Her balance between public presence and privacy keeps fans engaged while protecting her own well-being, something rare in an era of constant social media exposure. The ongoing speculation about her projects, combined with the enduring popularity of her BGT audition, ensures that she remains relevant both to loyal fans and to new audiences discovering her for the first time. Her story continues to spark conversations about authenticity, mental health, and career longevity in the modern entertainment world. So what really happened to Alice Fredenham? The truth is, she's still writing her story. From that tear-filled BGT audition to her Sony record deal, from stepping back from the spotlight to recent new music releases, Alice has carved out a unique path in the music industry. She proved that you don't need to win a talent show to achieve your dreams, and you don't need constant fame to maintain a meaningful musical career. What do you think Alice should do next in her musical journey? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.